Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to LTL Live. We're back. Hopefully there's no delay. I'm seeing a delay on my end, but hopefully it's transcribing and syncing up well on your end. This has been like crazy. I do a live last night, a members only, to work out all the details, and it looks like I'm having issues again. In the chat, let me know if there's syncing issues to my voice and video. No delay, you're good. Perfect. All right. Great way to start a show. But we have a lot to get into, obviously, here in the Karen Read trial. Jury was selected today. We're going to get into that. We had Karen Read's team, their defense team, agree to change of venue, and it will only allow lawyers, family members, and media only inside the smaller courtroom. So there'll be no galley there, like we've been seeing throughout the hearings and throughout this case so far. The Commonwealth has submitted a notice for discovery of the Sallyport video, so we're going to show that as well. We're also going to go through why Morrissey wants to dismiss himself as a witness and wants the evidence from the defense on why he should be included. And I'm going to show you why he should be included tonight. Obviously, we had, I just talked about the jury selection. Jury selection did happen today. The trial should start on Monday. So 5 people bowed out today because of hardship, but they gained 5 additional jurors. So it makes up a jury of 19. Obviously, you saw JRL today was back out there today. I got video of that. We're going to go through and talk about that, give you my thoughts. Jennifer Coffindaffer keeps implying herself in here, putting herself, I guess, in the mix of all of this, talking about tainted juries, put this bogus video out that she did a live, about a 9-minute live the other day. I want to talk about that and give you my thoughts on that. And I also have Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, actually talked about change of venue in the Karen Read case. So we may get to that video today, but it's so great to be back here. I'm so happy to be here. Obviously, you've gone through a lot of kind of trials and tribulations here in the studio, still working out some bugs and some details here. I will let you know this. I custom ordered my computer. It is on order today, and that should soon be here in the next couple of weeks. That'll allow me to hook up my new audio mixer, get full microphone set up on this table in front of me, and we can start getting some live guests in here as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And I have a lot of people on my list that I do want to come in and have a conversation with. I think it's going to be really great. But let me look into the chat here. I haven't looked at the chat in a while. I think it's great to see everybody here. So my lips match the voice. That's excellent. Thank you so much for letting me know that. Looks fabulous. Cindy, thank you for being a member and supportive here. Rogue says perfectly in sync. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for being a moderator and being here tonight. I'm still finding my way in this room, believe me, with this setup, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Love the background lights. Thank you. Been improving it, working on it. I have a nice art piece that's going to be going up behind me here in about a week or so. And I purchased it the other day. It had glass in it and was causing a reflection on the camera. So we're going to have that glass taken out, but it's going to look really great behind me. I think you're all going to enjoy it. If you're a member, you could go back and look at that live last night and actually have the art piece up. So it looked really great in the studio. Dragonfly says the studio looks great. Thank you so much. Let's see. JLR was pathetic. Yes, definitely pathetic. We're going to go over that today. I'm going to be honest with you. In the past, I supported JLR a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I have done that. I've used his streams here. He's allowed me to use his streams, especially when he was down at reporting at Eagle Pass in Texas. Allowed me to pull that. He was boots on the ground in the Danilo Cavalcante case that I covered here. I was allowed to use those streams during that, and he actually called into my show. I had a lot of respect for him in the sense, but his display and his nature of attitude today was completely unhinged. Completely unhinged. And I have to say, I have to go on the record. I unsubscribed to his channel. I will not be supporting him going any further. And he was just like an unhinged caged lion today. And you'll be able to see that video that I picked up during my live. And it was just unbelievable, unnecessary. And I think this is the type of person that is jumping into this to make some controversy and a name for himself. He knew exactly what he was doing today. He knew about the buffer zone. He knew if he went down there and created controversy inside that buffer zone, that it would cause Judge Bev to come back and kick back and put more restrictions out there. Now, from what I can say and what I can tell you is that every time that I've been out there over the last couple of weeks supporting or just reporting on the Free Karen Read movement, they've been nothing but respectful. They have respected the outer boundaries, I guess, where they can freely talk. They've respected inside the buffer zone. They haven't been yelling. They haven't been screaming. You know, Jennifer Coffindaffer says that these supporters are out there and they're tainting the jury by screaming and yelling. I've seen none of that. And you can go back and watch my streams and show you, you know, what's been going on down there. There's been none of that. There's absolutely been none of that. Jennifer Coffindaffer is lying when she says that to her audience and to the world. She's lying about that. And we will get more into that as we go. Dina Jam says, JRL is such a creep. I absolutely agree with you. Man says, studio looks great. Thank you so much. Let's see. Scott checking in. Scott, didn't see you today, but I know you were out in Leominster supporting Turtleboy. But Scott says, D.A. Morrissey is a corrupt legacy Democrat that Judge Auntie Bev must protect. She has no choice. No choice. Man, she's desperate to be relevant. It's sad. Oh, let's see what's going on. Look at you. Nice studio, bud. Thank you so much, Big D Dog. I appreciate that. Paul in the house, thank you for being a moderator. Saying good evening, LTL family. Absolutely. Studio looks amazing. Thank you. It's been a long project, a huge, long project here, but we're getting there. Tsunami jumping in. Moderators to JLR, Grant, and Janetti having a 3-man lemon party tonight. Yes. 3-way. And he was out there yesterday. JRL was out there yesterday harassing Turtleboy. And I believe Aiden didn't even know who this guy was. I've known about him for a while. I think Will went over some of his stuff in his streams of his tactics that he does. I've seen this before in cases. And again, you know, this is a big case. It's grabbed the media's attention. It's grabbing the media's attention. JRL is known for doing this because he's done no reporting on this before. And it's come up here, kind of infiltrated the buffer zone, caused a huge problem out there today. And I have to give everybody that is on the Free Karen Read supporter side that you held it together today. You were very respectful. I actually have to say the time that I was down there in the morning, that the police inside that buffer zone, the state police acted respectful. There was no pushing. Obviously, they wanted to get people back, but they were very respectful of the Free Karen Read supporters. I had no issues. A couple of them actually said hi to me today. And I have to just commend everybody for being respectful, keeping yourself in control, because these outliers, these people that are fringe people that want to jump in, they want to disrupt what's going on down there. They want to deter supporters to come down. This is what they do. And this is what JRL did today. He wanted to cause a controversy because he knew deep down inside that if he caused a controversy enough, that they would put more restrictions and push the Free Karen Read supporters back. So I have to say, I have to commend all of you. You did a great job down there, and you've been doing a great job supporting, following the rules, even though I think it's a bullshit rule, this buffer zone, because it is infringing on our free speech and our rights to go out there and support and protest and inform people down there in front of it. It's a public spot. It's a public place. We're allowed to go down there and do that. I just want to pull this up really quick. I know the chat's going super fast here. Lisa, thank you for becoming a new member here on the channel. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Give me pause 2 seconds. I just want to adjust something here in my studio. I just want to adjust my iPad and push it back a little further so I can see the chat. Hang on 1 second. All right, there we go. Now we can actually look at the chat a little bit better. Here. But thank you, Lisa. I appreciate the support. You have access to all the members only on my homepage. You can go check that out. I have tons of videos, tons of behind the scenes videos here that I've been building out my studio. So thank you. Yeah, we're going to get into what happened today. I promise you, I'm just doing some adjustments here. I have an iPad that's actually in front of me, And I'm actually able to see the chat, which is nice because I was not able to see the chat before. But I have a lot of video, like I said, of the studio up there. You can check in with that. So let's get into some articles here. I'm so glad that everybody's here. I've been waiting to do this. I've been itching to do this. And it feels good to be back here and be in kind of the new digs here. So feels really, really good. G says, I like how the setup is coming together. It's definitely coming together. And I cannot wait for the live guests to come in here and sit down and we have a full-fledged conversation and not through StreamYard. So, yeah, a little bit of an echo going on. I do know that. That's going to be taken care of when the new computer is set up. We have the new audio mixer set up, the Rodecaster 2, and I'll have a beautiful brand new microphone that will take care of all that. But this is what it is right now. We'll get through it. I promise. We'll get through it. Let's see. Christine, thank you for being a 2-month member in the support. It says, thank you for having me in the chat. Absolutely. And thank you for being here. I hope you find value in the show. Let's see. Dr. Disinfect chiming in saying, I can't stand JLR, but I watch his videos and a bunch of Karen Read supporters made themselves look bad. He has the right to believe in what he wants. So please explain how they made themselves look bad today. I thought that everybody was in control. They were not screaming. And here's the funny thing about this, and I want to actually talk to you, Dr. Disinfect. So tell me this. Why is it that JLR can go inside the buffer zone and scream at Karen Read, call her a cop killer, all the way up to the courtroom steps, right in front of state police, and not be arrested and not be held back and not be pushed back beyond that line? But if you're inside that buffer zone and you are a reporter, or I'm sorry, and you are a supporter of Karen Read, and you say free Karen Read, or the system is corrupt, or anything to counter protest what's going on inside, why are you pushed back? Why do you have to stand behind a line? Why can you not wear a free Karen Read support shirt? Can you tell me that? Why was JLL not arrested today? But if a free Karen Read supporter was doing the exact same thing that JRL did today, I guarantee you they would be in handcuffs. Why? Can you answer that? Can you answer that? So let me just get back up to some of these. Miss Gramps, a member, LTL member for 11 months. Thank you for the support. I do appreciate that. Donna, 2-month membership support. Thank you. I appreciate that. Dina Jam checking in as well, saying LTL rules. Look at this, 9-month member and supporter of the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let me just take a sip of water here. Yeah, I mean, here's a perfect point right here. Danny chiming in, saying if Turtleboy did that, he would have been arrested immediately. That is so true. That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. So the funny thing about all of this and the end result of it is, in my opinion, JRL knew what he was doing. He was going to go down there and cause controversy today. He was going to ramp it up, and he knew by doing this that it was going to piss off Auntie Bev, Judge Bev, and she put more restrictions. So now the only way that you were able to talk within that or to the defense team as they walk in is that you have to be a member of the press. You're not allowed to say anything to them anymore. Not allowed to say anything. So he knew what he was doing. He absolutely knew what he was doing. All right, let's get up to this article here. I wanted to pull this up. All right, so jury seated in murder trial of Karen Read. I'm just going to pop this up on my big screen up here so I can go through and read it. And always love the top of this video because it just hangs and hangs and hangs. Maybe it's not going to work up here. Maybe we bring it down. Let's do this.
She's the woman accused of killing her police officer boyfriend in Canada.
The final candidate was chosen this afternoon. Investigative reporter Ted Daniel covering the case since the beginning as he explains a new phase now begins.
With jury selection wrapped up, we get to move on to opening statements. It's the first time that both sides will be able to set the table for the jury and begin to make their case. Second-degree murder defendant Karen Read heading out of court and into a new phase of her trial. Are you anxious to get this underway?
I am anxious, Ted. I have the truth, so I feel good.
Opening statements are scheduled for Monday, and it appears those statements will not take place in this courtroom. Judge Beverly Cannoni indicated she is willing to move to a smaller courtroom next door.
In order to advance to the merits of this case without further delay or collateral distraction, I will consider moving the trial across the hall to courtroom 25.
This comes after Karen Reed's lawyers challenged the layout of the existing courtroom. As the defense shows in pictures, the jury box is positioned in a way that some jurors...
Now, I'm going to stop this hearing and kind of comment about this. I like this motion from the defense, and I'll tell you why. I want every single juror, the 12 jurors that are going to sit in that courtroom and decide the fate of Karen Reed. I want them to be able to see every single witness on that stand, not the back of their head. I want them to see the facial expressions, the body expressions, the movements. I want them to be very intuitive to all of the witnesses that are called on that stand. I want this trial to be absolutely fair. I cannot believe that we're even at a trial, knowing what we know. But I want it to be as fair as possible. And this is what irks me with things like Jennifer Coffindaffer says, that people that are supporters of Karen Reed outside that courtroom want to taint the jury. Why would we want to taint the jury? We want the most honest trial. We want the most honest jurors. And I love this move, again, by Karen's defense team. And I think they raised some good questions on this. So let's keep playing through this here.
Jurors will not be able to see witnesses' faces when they testify on the stand. The alternative courtroom is less than half the size.
The only people who really can fit in that courtroom will be the press, the victim's family, and the defendant's family.
David, is moving to the adjacent courtroom the best plan?
Yes, we're happy about that.
Is that a definitive?
We believe that it is.
19 jurors have been selected, but at the end of the trial, only 12 will get to decide the outcome. The court chose additional jurors in case people drop out along the way. Court will be back in session on Thursday. Judge Cannoni still has to rule on some outstanding issues from both the prosecution and the defense. Opening statements, those are set for Monday. Reporting in Dedham, I'm Ted Daniel for your local station, Boston 25 News.
And Boston 25 News will bring you coverage of the trial right through the verdict. We'll be streaming testimony on our website and the Boston 25 News app. You can always catch up on our coverage at boston25news.com/Karen.
All right, great video there. Ted Daniel is always killing it over there on Boston 25. Doing some great reporting through all this. So my hat's off to you, Ted. You're really getting the stories over there, and great job. Just give me a second and do some housekeeping here. It's really great to be back with all of you. I've missed the channel so much. I've missed all of you. It's nice to see a lot of people in here tonight. It's been a long time coming. As far as the echo, again, we're working on that. We're gonna have a brand new mic set up. We'll have some more sound paneling up on the walls. Again, I'm in a small room with a loud voice, so you might get a little bit of that. But I believe with this new microphone, it's a Shure microphone. It should have some noise canceling and stuff like that in it. Right now, I'm using like a $50 Amazon condenser mic. It just doesn't sound as warm in this room, and microphones do that if you know about studio audio recording. So we'll get through it, but we can still report tonight and talk about this. Let me just do some housekeeping real quick. All right, things looking good on my end. Okay, so let me look here. So Karen Reed's team, again, agreed to the change of venue. That actually happened today. And I want to talk a little bit more about that. So give me a second. I'm going to queue up another video here from Court TV. We have a lot to go into. Plan on doing a long live tonight. A long live tonight. Give me 2 seconds. I don't know why this video is not playing. Hang on. Always technical difficulties, right? It would not be an LTL studio if it didn't have technical difficulties. All right, let's see if I can get some video here to play. It's not going to play. Of course not. What are you doing to me, man? Hang on. Hang on. You gonna work now? Please work. Stand by, folks. Oh, I got it. Let's get through the commercial. The only problem, my screen's gonna look kind of whited out here. All right, let me get through this commercial and we'll pull this up and play it. And then we're gonna get into the JLR stuff. We're gonna get into Grant, Jennifer Coffindaffer, all that fun stuff. Turtleboy.
Good, Matt. Good. You got this, Karen. Good luck, everyone.
The victim in this case is Boston police officer John O'Keefe. The two of them were dating at the time. Let's get you the very latest on what's happening at the courthouse. I want to bring in now Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson standing by for us live this morning. Matt, good morning to you.
Julie, good morning to you. And things are just getting underway here in Dedham, Massachusetts, outside of Boston. We have about 91 potential jurors that were just sworn in, and they're going to be asked questions right now as this jury selection continues. We are in day 4 of jury selection. Take a look at this video. Karen Reed, the defendant, making her way to court just a few moments ago. And today could be a big day with some fireworks. Here's what we're watching for. There was a last-minute motion filed on Thursday. Court, of course, was dark on Friday. Here is the motion that we're putting on your screen. It has to do with defendant Karen Reed's motion to enforce her constitutional right to.
So again, this is the being able to look at those jurors, have a good view of the jurors, not the back of their head. Again, we want a fair trial in all of this. I'm just going to back myself out here again to make myself a little bigger. We want a fair trial in all of this. I want the jurors to see every single witness on that stand. I want the jurors to see their body language. I want them to see how their eyes are moving when they're asked questions, their facial, their body expressions. And that is particularly to the people that were inside 34 Fairview that night. I want the jury to be able to see them. When they're questioned, when Brian Higgins is questioned about why did you destroy your phone on a military base, when Brian Alberts is questioned about why did you destroy your phone, I want those jurors to look at Jennifer McCabe when she's asked by Alan Jackson or David Yannetti, why did you Google at 2:27 a.m. How long to die in cold? I want the jurors to be able to see their faces. All right, let's keep playing through this here from Court TV.
Face-to-face confrontation, talking about the jurors being able to see the witness and their face. Specifically, defendant Karen Reed respectfully moves this honorable court to enforce her constitutional right to face-to-face confrontation by ensuring that all members of the jury can observe the faces of the witnesses who testify against her at trial. As grounds for this motion, Ms. Reed states that the courtroom seating arrangements as presently situated would violate Ms. Reed's constitutional right to confrontation because numerous members of the jury will be unable to observe.
So I guess, and I just want to pull this up really quick. It should be legal to have jurors behind the witness like that. I absolutely agree. But the judge went on in this case to say, well, we've had many, many trials in here. This has never become an issue. But I believe this is a very, very strong issue in this case. And you know, going back to what I was just saying a few minutes ago, the jurors should be able to see or need to be able to see all those witnesses. Their faces, their body language, everything, every move needs to be looked at. All right, let's keep playing through here.
Of the faces of the witnesses who testify against her. And then that motion went on to include some exhibits. So here's one of the exhibits. We had defense attorney David Yannetti sit in that witness box. This would be the view from position number 9 in the jury box. And then it includes other pictures as well, because again, they allege that 6 members of the jury would have obstructed views and not being able to see these witnesses' faces as as they answer what could be some tough questions.
I mean, let me ask you this in the chat. Do you think that the jurors should be able to have an unobstructed view of the witnesses on the stand? Let me know in the chat. If you think they should, press a 1. If you don't think that it's the biggest issue, then press a 2. I want to see it in the chat. Let me know.
Especially under cross, Julie.
Yeah, most definitely, Matt. Tell
One
me,
if you
please,
agree,
with
2 if you
the jury
disagree.
selection expected to wrap up
let's put it
today,
in
I
the
mean,
chat.
although nothing's for sure, as you know, what are the plans in terms of, does the court have a timeline set? Are they tentatively setting opening statements still for Tuesday, provided that they do get the jury seated?
We really don't know exactly when opening statements are taking place. So here we are in jury selection. They have 91 potential jurors in there right now that are going to be answering questions, both raising their paddles and their numbers for group questions. And then at this particular Commonwealth in this courthouse, they go on a sidebar and they answer direct questions from the judge and the parties, and they can do their strikes. So this court looking to seat 16 to hear the case that includes 4 alternates. Right now, they have impaneled 12, so we just need 4 more. Again, today is day 4 of jury selection, and still no word yet if opening statements will start right after, which is unlikely because those other impaneled jurors would need to make their way back to the court. They would need to know when to do that. So maybe Tuesday, maybe later this week, Julie.
Matt, appreciate that. I know you're going to keep us posted on any developments, and it seems that there was a hearing starting to get underway. The judge asked the attorneys to go to sidebar, so we've got an eye on what's happening in the courtroom as well. I know you do. Keep us posted. Any more info you get, I know you'll share it with us on this program. Matt Johnson, live in Dedham, Massachusetts. Thank you so much. We'll see you later, my friend. I want to bring in now our friend Sunny Slaughter. She is a law enforcement expert, very familiar with this case, someone who has followed it from the very beginning. And she was joining us earlier on opening statements. We were having this very important discussion about the witnesses in the witness box and what way they'll be facing and all of that. And Sunny, I was saying to you, for anybody who missed opening statements, I was saying you've been in a lot of courtrooms as a consultant, as an affiant. Have you ever seen a jury box that way and the way that it's positioned? We're saying you haven't. I got a tweet from one of our other regular guests on Court TV, attorney Wendy Murphy, who practices in that county, in that courthouse. And I thought this was interesting. She saw the segment and she said, I know that courtroom. No juror ever sits behind the witness in the way the defense angle is suggesting. Keep in mind, the more motions the defense team files, the more we can infer that they're expecting a conviction because they're anticipating an appeal.
Yeah, look at that view.
And they're trying to raise as many issues.
Look at the view. I mean, how can a juror see, and I see someone in the chat, I think Jeff is saying in the chat, oh, they just need to hear them. They just need to hear them. No, you don't. You need to see everything. You need to hear and visually see how these witnesses act on the stand. What is their motions? What are their eye movements? What are their facial expressions when they're asked a certain question, when they're challenged by Karen Reed's defense team? You need to see that, and you need to see it clearly. You need to see that clearly. So I'm going to disagree with you, Jeff. I'm going to absolutely disagree with you. Body language is super, super important in all of this.
As possible. So I thought that was interesting, that because I said to you, I'm thinking, how has no one raised this as a problem before, right? Sunny, what do you think? Wendy, professor, lawyer in this county, saying that it wouldn't be from the viewpoints they're showing going behind the witness's head like that one there. Your thoughts, Sunny?
Is, first of all, an excellent person to ask because she has firsthand knowledge, and she's also a major proponent of constitution on the air with her. And I think what she is saying then really gives credence to what has been happening in this courtroom, because although I believe that if the jury can't see the person, then that is problematic. If I saw where a few people have raised it before, and now Wendy connects the dots for me in saying that, okay, they want to reserve their rights for appeal. That makes sense, and that she can actually see, the jury will have a better view than what we were thinking. So that gives me like a pause and saying, "Whoa, thank goodness," because I can't imagine how many cases they would have to go over and over again, because people say, "Wait a minute, that's problematic." So I'm glad she was able to weigh in with her expertise and her exact knowledge.
Right, Sonny, right. Who better than someone who's in this courtroom practicing there to know? And I made the point earlier, if anybody would be concerned, I would think the state would be as well. I couldn't see any opposition to this. I mean, nobody's going to want the jurors staring at the back of the heads of the witnesses. Quite frankly, that's absurd. So, let's all make sure it's squared away. And I would think this is a very good judge. We've seen her being very fair and very meticulous. I'm sure she's going to correct it. And whenever that sidebar is broken up and we can hear a little more of what's going on in the courtroom, we'll go in there. Sonny, let's talk a little bit about the third-party culprit defense, because we know this is going beyond somebody else did this. This isn't just someone else did this, I'm not responsible. This is where a defendant is saying, I'm a victim here. Not only was it not me, but it was this person or that person or both of them or all three of them, all of that. So let's take a look at what the judge said to the defense team when they were in her courtroom a little over a week ago.
It's important.
Mr. Yannetti, are you pursuing a third-party culprit defense?
We are, Your Honor, and I'm prepared to address that. The Commonwealth has raised the issue, and I am prepared to address that today.
So you filed your motions first, and you did not raise it. So if the Commonwealth had not raised it, you did not move to introduce it, correct? I have no motion from.
No, I
from
understand. I understand, Your Honor.
This, I'm telling you right here, this is what is going to be a perfect example how it's going to be for Karen's lawyers, for Karen's defense team. This is, in my opinion, how the judge is going to act towards them through this entire trial. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very, very difficult. And I feel like there's going to be things that are, the judge will go way out of her way to make this very difficult. In my opinion, she should have excused herself quite a long time ago from this this trial. In my opinion, I feel that way. But this is a perfect example right here of what you're consistently going to see when this trial plays out. The attitude towards the defense team.
If you'd like something in writing for us, we can do that. I have a full argument prepared.
All right, so who is the third-party culprit?
We are under no obligation to name any specific third-party culprit.
And Yannetti is 1000% correct on this. And the funny thing about it, it was like he almost prepared that she was going to ask that question, because see how quick his response came out? It's not their responsibility to prove who did it. They're there just to defend themselves and say, Karen didn't do it. It's the Commonwealth's job to prove that Karen did this. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to have a huge uphill battle in this to prove their case. I think the defense has it. I think they have the goods. I think they have the most relevant and consistent information to prove that Karen Read did not do this. We know that she's factually innocent. And I think that's all going to come out. And the thing that you have to remember, everything that we've heard so far is just the tip of the iceberg. There will be more that Karen's defense team has found out and will present in open court. I think that a lot of the stuff that will come out that we'll hear is almost going to make your jaw drop. And I think that Lally's going to have a huge uphill battle in this. You have three amazing powerhouse attorneys, Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, Liz Little, on this in Karen's corner to fully defend her. And I feel 1000% confident that they're going to get the job done. And it's just going to be up to the jury. But we'll have to see. Let's keep playing through this.
But if you have the third-party culprit, why wouldn't you say it? Sonny, your thoughts on this?
It's not their job.
I agree. I mean, if you were ready, if they already had the argument written out first, if they're preserving all of their constitutional rights on everything else, why didn't they submit the motion? That was a question for me. She has every right, Karen Reed has every right to do whatever she needs to do to protect herself if she is saying that she is not guilty, which she has clearly stated and her attorneys are clearly, saying that she is not. However, when the attorney had the opportunity, and if you said that you're already ready, why don't you just say who it is? Like, name the names, let's get to it, let's get through it, and let's see what we're coming up with. But so I'm wondering if they really are prepared, because I know they might not have a duty to announce, but why not? There's a lot of problems and controversy around this case, and I think it would have squelched some of the noise, even though they don't have to put out their information first. If you've got it, just bring it on.
Right, Sonny. Well, this was a whole mission to get the word out, spread the word that there's a cover-up. When I initially heard about this case, I was hearing people screaming, cover up, and it's like, oh, okay, so what's the cover-up? What is it?
What is the cover-up? I mean, your Court TV, you've been following this case. I mean, you've been reporting on it. You should have the story and show both sides. They always kind of side with the Commonwealth in these things, or the prosecution. Let's hear a little bit more. I think the only person that I've seen on here that does a fairly good job of reporting is Vinnie Politan. I like when he covers this case. I think down inside, I asked this on one of my lives a couple of weeks ago. Do you think that Vinnie knows? Do you think Vinnie knows? And a lot of you all agreed with me, and I think that Vinnie does know. Yeah, Julie Grant can go. And I had a feeling that this is how it was going to be when I played this video, but I think Vinnie knows. Vinnie knows. Vinnie knows.
You're saying that all these people, police in the house, non-police party attendees, first responders, the district attorney's office, the grand jury members, all the people on the grand jury who heard from over 40 witnesses and up to the charges against this lady, everybody's in on this? Come on.
Yeah, because I know there's never any type of cover-up or corruption in cases, right? Come on. Jack's like, it's never happened before in the history of our justice system. No, there's never any cover-up or corruption, right? Yeah, okay. Just come to Massachusetts and talk about some of the cases here. Lots of cover-up and corruption here.
This is really.
Can anybody say Whitey Bulger?
It's something. It was very, I think, disappointing, and I heard that from a lot of viewers watching, and it's like, well, who is it? Say it. If you here's your chance. The judge is giving you the opportunity. Say it. So I guess we'll have to wait to trial to really hear it.
And that's it. That's it. That is it. That is it for that video. Video. All right, so let's do this. Let me just back this out. And I'm going to just turn up my lights a little bit here. Perfect. All right. I'm going to go back to this. And that. Great. All right. So let's see. Commonwealth submits notice of discovery for Sally Port video. Let's bring that up here. I can get it up on my screen. Where is it? Where did she go? Where is the document? Aha, here it is. And let me just enlarge this. So here you go. Commonwealth here. Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. Commonwealth's notice of discovery XL now comes to the Commonwealth. The above caption matter that indicates that of this date on the following discovery materials have been provided to the defendant through defense counsel, a copy of Canton Police Department Interior Sally Port Blackwall video footage, shared file link, and copy of Massachusetts State Police Report number 96, case number 2022/11233, page 1, respectively, submitted for the Commonwealth. Michael W. Morsi, District Attorney. We're going to talk a little bit about District Attorney Morsi today as well. So let me ask you, do you think the 42 minutes of missing video is going to be in that shared file that was shared with the defense? Are we going to get the full video in this? Because they're saying that they have Karen Reed's vehicle on camera in this video. But if it's not there, how is Lally going to explain the missing 42 minutes? So let me know. Let me know in the chat. Give me a 1 if you think the missing 42 minutes is going to be in this shared file, or if you think it's going to be there, give me a 1 in the chat. If you think that it's not going to be there, throw up a 2. Be curious to see. But let's talk a little bit about Morsi here. And I want to talk about recently Morsi wanted to dismiss himself as a witness and wants evidence from the defense on why he should be included. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you remember, back in August 25th, 2023, DA Morsi did a public video. And remember, it was the Colin Albert was not at the house. The 3 times just had to keep mentioning Colin Albert. But because, and I think Melanie Little went over this on her live maybe last night or the night before, she talked about because of that video, it actually made Morsi a witness in this case. And if you haven't seen that or you don't remember it, let's play through that. Hang on 1 second. Of course, wouldn't be a live stream here on LTL without technical difficulties. But remember, Colin Albert was not in the house. I've got to watch this. Let's see. Here we go.
This will be the first statement of its kind in my dozen years as Norfolk District Attorney. The harassment of witnesses in the murder prosecution of Karen Reed is absolutely baseless. It should be an outrage to any decent person, and it needs to stop.
Needs to stop.
Innuendo is not evidence. False narratives are not evidence. However, what evidence does show is that John O'Keefe never entered the home at 34 Fairview Road in Canton the night he died. Location data from his phone, recovered from the lawn beneath his body when he was transported to the hospital, shows that this phone did not enter that home. 11 people have given statements that they did not see John O'Keefe enter the home at 34 Fairview that night. 0 people have said that they saw him enter the home. 0. No one. Some have, without any evidence, pointed to 18-year-old Colin Albert, a nephew of the homeowner, and accused him of attacking John O'Keefe as he entered the home. But phone evidence shows O'Keefe never entered the home at all. Testimony from witnesses tell us that 18-year-old Colin Albert had left his uncle's home before John O'Keefe.
So let's just talk about this. Jeff says, in shouting out to Danny, says it was in the Sally port. It's motion activated. That's what they said. They lied. Well, if it was motion activated, it was motion activated cameras, and Yannetti talked about this on that in the last hearing before the jury selection. He said, well, wouldn't pulling Karen Reed's vehicle into that Sally port be motion? You're driving a car in there. And let's just put the caveat on that. Wouldn't people walking around, taking photos, swabbing the car for DNA, collecting evidence off that car, wouldn't that trigger motion on those cameras as well? So what was going on for 42 minutes? They just pulled the video, they pulled the car in and then just mysteriously left and then went back 42 minutes later, and then magically the cameras came back on. I mean, if you're pulling a car in to take evidence, wouldn't you stay with that vehicle and start processing the scene or that vehicle? A vehicle that supposedly killed a Boston police officer? I'd probably be on that like white on rice, right? Why was there no processing or partial processing of her vehicle at the scene, at her parents' house? where her car was parked. Instead, Proctor went, seized the vehicle, put it up on a flatbed in a storm, drove it from Dayton, Massachusetts on the back of a flatbed in winter weather. What was it, 31 miles back to Canton PD, and that car sat there for almost 3 days before it was processed? Why would it not be towed back to a state police crime lab and processed immediately? You have the potential murder weapon there that murdered a Boston police officer. Why sit on that for 3 days? Wouldn't you think that the public would want answers? Wouldn't you think that you would want to start processing this immediately and collecting that evidence to prove your case? I get a lot of questions about that. Have a lot of questions about that. All right, let's keep going through this here.
And Karen Reed had arrived outside the residence. There was no fight inside that home. John O'Keefe did not enter the home. Colin Albert, the young man being vilified, was not present when Reed's vehicle and John O'Keefe arrived on the street. This is a false narrative.
False narrative.
Colin Albert didn't commit murder.
Colin Albert.
Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, and Brian Albert.
How do you know that?
These people were not part of a conspiracy, and certainly
How do you know that?
did not commit murder or any crime that night. They have been forthcoming with authority, providing statements, and have not engaged in any cover-up. They are not suspects in any crime. They are merely witnesses in the case.
This is the video that made Morrissey a witness.
To have them accused of murder is outrageous. To have them harassed and intimidated based on false narratives and accusations is wrong. They are witnesses doing what our justice system asks of them.
Yeah.
The autopsy of John O'Keefe was conducted by a forensic pathologist from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The doctor found that the injuries that left John helpless in the cold were not a result of a fight. She further found that the line of abrasions on his arm was consistent with blunt trauma.
Oh, thank you,
not
Jen.
an animal attack.
Appreciate you here.
A grand jury of everyday citizens heard the documented evidence and testimony before making a decision. The subject of that murder indictment enjoys the constitutional presumption of innocence. Why should the witnesses who have committed no crime be afforded less by members of the community? They should not be harassed for telling the government what they heard or saw.
I like how he just tells their story, how he speaks for the witnesses. I love how he just gets that out there right away and doesn't let the witnesses speak for themselves. I find that pretty amazing that he's allowed to do that. You know, it just puts that implication out there right there. They did not do this. Colin Albert didn't do this. Jennifer McCabe didn't do this. Brian Albert didn't do this. Brian Higgins didn't do this. Just speaks for witnesses. How is that possible? How is that possible?
I'm asking the Canton community and everyone who feels invested in this case to hear all the actual evidence at trial before assigning guilt to people who have done nothing wrong. And certainly before taking it upon yourself to harass citizens who evidence shows have done nothing in this matter but come forward and bear witness. We try people in the court and not on the internet for a reason. The internet has no rules of evidence. The internet has no punishment for perjury. And the internet does not know all the facts. Conspiracy theories are not evidence. The idea that multiple police department, EMTs, fire personnel, the medical examiner, and prosecuting agencies are joined in or taken in by a vast conspiracy should be seen for what it is, completely contrary to the evidence and a desperate attempt to reassign guilt. Michael Proctor, the state police trooper being accused of planting evidence outside 34 Fairview Road, was never at Fairview Road on the day of the incident. Proctor and his state police partner traveled together the entire day while other officers were processing 34 Fairview.
Speaks for witnesses here. He's speaking for witnesses. He speaks for them now. I just find this very hard to believe. Let's get them on the stand and let them speak for themselves. Let's hear what they have to say. It's almost like coaching. It's like almost like coaching.
Trooper Proctor was not there and did not plant evidence at 34 Fairview Road.
They didn't.
In addition to having no opportunity to plant the evidence, as has been suggested, Proctor would have no motive to do so. Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation and had no conflict. And he had no reason to step out of this investigation. Every suggestion to the contrary is a lie. This should be seen for what it is and not used as a pretext to attack and harass others. What is happening to the witnesses, some with no actual involvement in the case, is wrong. It is contrary to the American values of fairness and the constitutional value of a fair trial. It needs to stop now.
It needs to stop now.
I am releasing this recorded statement rather than holding a news conference because my remarks need to be so narrowly tailored to the issue at hand while the prosecution is pending its.
Well, he didn't want to get out in front of the cameras because he can't tell his true feelings in all of this. He didn't want to get caught up by the media if they asked him a tough question, so he had to do this prepared statement. But I'm glad that he did do this because this now makes him a witness in this trial. And again, I just wanted to go over and review this, but
Superior Court. But the message is the same. What is happening to these innocent people, these witnesses, is wrong, and it needs to stop.
Stop. We say it's got to stop. That's what we got to do. We got to make it stop. No, why don't you stop? Stop with the lies. Stop with the corruption. Stop for speaking for witnesses that we want to hear on the stand in this trial when they're cross-examined and questioned. Again, we want to go back to a fair jury that can see those witnesses, see their face, their body language, their movements, because that tells a lot. It definitely tells a lot. Go back and think about all of the cases that you watched, either through Law and Crime Network, Court TV, and how specific it was to you when you watched facial movements or eye movements or body language when witnesses were testifying or cross-examined or asked questions. How important was that to you to see that? All right, so the jury was selected today. Trial should start on Monday. 5 people dropped out today, but they did gain another 5 jurors. I actually was out there this morning when I saw about 90 people potential jurors walk into the courtroom. Karen Reed has been there every single day through jury selection, which has been great. I think it's a great move on her part. 19 total, and we'll get it down to a jury of 12. I just want to pull this up. Heather Reed checking in, saying, "You've been doing great. I hope you're settling into the new place." We're getting there. We're getting there, and I appreciate your $5 super chat. It's a little getting used to in here. I'm starting to try to get myself comfortable, but it's coming along. We have a few more things to button up, but I think it's going to end up working out really well. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. All right. So, of course, we can't. I mean, it was like holy hell broke loose day. We're going to get into that. I was down there for JLR. We're going to talk about Coffindaffer as well, about her talking about potentially, the Free Karen Reed movement tainting jurors. They're out there because they want to taint the jury. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous statements. We're going to get into that video. But let's talk a little bit about jury selection today and the drama that went down there in front of the courthouse this morning. Here's from Court TV. And, of course, I'm going to pull up my videos that I shot down there today. But let's hear a little bit from what Court TV had to say.
To New England, get an update on Karen Reed up in Massachusetts. See how they're doing.
We've been waiting
Yeah,
and waiting
yeah.
and
Sounds like the
waiting.
Canadians.
We were supposed to have opening statements at first, anticipation on Monday of this week. Then it was moved to maybe Thursday. It's looking like something different now. She's accused of hitting her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, with her vehicle and then leaving him to die in the snow. Her defense on the other side says she's part of a frame job, and police are accusing her as part of a cover-up. Let's bring in Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson, who has been there watching watching this case. And now, Matt, what's the latest with the issue of the courtroom layout? Are we going to be in that courthouse behind you?
Right, so it's more drama here in Dedham. Even before this much divided trial even starts, this trial that has divided this community. The courthouse here behind me, this will be used, but still up in the air whether or not the courtroom that we've been using is going to be the courtroom for the trial. All of this after the defense filed a motion saying that the rights of the defendant, Karen Reed, were being violated after jurors would not be able to see the face of the witness testifying, violating Reed's face-to-face confrontation. Their motion included exhibits that included.
We just get to this $4.99 super chat. I appreciate that chiming in. 4Bros2 says there's not a single motion. There's not a single motion activated camera in any mass police station. They all run continuously and recorded 24/7. I speak from experience. So there you have, folks. There you have, folks. This is from experience. Speaking of the truth. Yeah, why would they have a motion activated camera? Doesn't make any sense. Motion activated cameras are for like people that have cameras set up in their yard. You know, someone comes into the yard, the light may turn on, the camera turns on, or the infrared camera turns on. I don't think someone's going to be out there with I would say an average security system, be filming 24/7 at their house. I mean, possibly, I may be wrong again. But I see a lot of the cameras that are used are these motion activated, but it's more in like Ring cameras and stuff like that. So it makes total sense. Absolutely makes total sense. All right, let's keep playing through here.
Pictures of attorney David Yannetti on the stand and the view from certain seats in that jury box. Well, here's what the judge said about it this morning. First thing out the gate. Take a listen.
The configuration of this courtroom, a courtroom in which criminal trials have been held continuously for over 140 years, does not violate a defendant's right to confrontation or due process. However, in order to advance to the merits of this case without further delay or collateral distraction, I will consider moving the trial across the hall to courtroom 25, where, at least according to the opinion expressed by Mr. Yannetti's affidavit, the sightlines are preferable.
Nikita, thank you so much and welcome for being a rookie detective. Thank you for supporting me here. If you go over to the homepage after this video post, you can go down and check out all the members only content. I do appreciate that. Jen checking in, new member as well. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Rookie Detective group. If anybody wants to support me on a monthly basis, you can and get access to all the members only content. You go down there, hit the join button below the chat, and that gives you access on my homepage to all the members only. My members only, they start at $1.99. It's less than a cup of coffee. And I have a couple other links that are dropping here. You can super chat to get your chat pulled up. If you want an important chat pulled up, you can super chat and I'll pull that up for you. Let's go. Emmy, thank you so much for the $9.99. I appreciate it. She says, I love the lights in the background. You're killing it. Thank you so much for being a supporter here on LTL Media. I really do appreciate that. It's nice to be back. And it's nice to start feeling comfortable here in the spot. Couple more things to iron out, like I said, but we're going to have a full-fledged studio here pretty soon. All right, let's go on here with Court TV.
Keep in mind the courtroom is much smaller. The only people who really can fit in that courtroom will be the press, the victim's family, and the defendant's family. That's all we can do. There'll be webinar format, so the case will remain in an open courtroom.
Excuse me.
From a defense motion saying that all of the people in the witness box, those jurors, would not be able to see, rather, the person testifying in that witness box. They're not thinking about a solution of just moving the jury within that larger courtroom. What the judge is now considering is what the state proposed, the Commonwealth, saying using that much smaller courtroom, which will exclude much of the public from being able to watch this unless they watch it online, because there's only going to be room for family of both sides and also, you know, potential witnesses after they've testified, these police officers.
It's interesting because the free Karen readers pack this courtroom for every single hearing, and you have to think that they're going to be a little bit upset if they're not able to pack that courtroom during the trial. What Matt, is the latest in the jury selection process, which has been a little bit longer than we maybe anticipated originally, but this is a case, to your point, so many eyeballs, so much.
I think from what I heard, reports were saying on the first day of jury selection, over 50 people stood up when they were asked the question, have you heard about this case? And 50 people stepped up immediately and was like, yeah, I have. So they got dismissed the first day, as from what I was hearing.
Pre-trial publicity, where are we now?
Right, and to your point with that, we've seen supporters of Karen Read out in front of the courthouse each and every day, but the judge last week ruled that during the trial, police officers can't wear their uniforms in the gallery, and Karen Read supporters can't wear anything that says Free Karen Read or in support of Karen Read, buttons or T-shirts, things of that nature.
But you can go out there and act like a complete unhinged lunatic like JLR did today, run into that buffer zone, and scream at Karen Read. You're going to see that video here in a couple of minutes because I was outside the courthouse today and I got it. And have the ability to scream at Karen Read as she's walking into court, all the way up to the courthouse steps with state police officers standing right there, and didn't do anything. Just told him to move back. And I said this at the beginning of my live, that the Free Karen Read supporters that were out there today, you acted with respect, you acted with dignity, you did not push back, you did not fight, you did not scream, like Jennifer Coffindaffer likes to say, that we're out there screaming and shouting and trying to taint this jury. There were reports today that JLR was heard inside the courthouse screaming and yelling, causing this controversy, and then Judge Bev pushed back and now said that the only people that are going to be allowed to question the defense walking into court will have to be actual reporters. Not that any of the Free Karen Read people would be questioning Karen's defense. If anything, they're in support. They're telling them that you're doing a great job. They're supporting Karen. But now we have this unhinged lunatic that comes in today, makes a mess of it because he wants all eyes on him. He hasn't done anything in this case and wants to jump up here in Massachusetts. And I'll tell you, I was honest at the very beginning of this live. I actually supported JLR, but I can't anymore. He was like a caged lion today, waiting to spring. And you're going to see that. You're going to see that video here in a second. Let's get through the court TV.
Sure. They haven't even been holding signs out in front of the courthouse. What they've been doing is wearing a solid color of pink in solidarity, supporting Karen Read. And they're asking for that to be overturned, that ruling, before this trial gets underway, which we're expecting next week. So today, we may find out when the trial will start. Opening statements could be slated for Monday because jury selection is still ongoing. Today is day 5 in this jury selection process. Each day, a different panel of potential jurors are brought in. Today, it was the number of 85 that was brought in. And now they're in individual questionings with the judge and the attorneys where they're going to, do their strikes if they so choose. Here's where we stand in the jury selection process. 19 were impaneled in the 3 days of jury selection.
And let me go back and add this in because I just thought about that. Now we know the biggest supporter and the person that has uncovered all of this and started the Free Karen Read movement is Aiden Turtleboy Carney. Now, if Aiden Turtleboy Carney acted the exact same way that JLR acted today, you all know what would happen to him. He would have been arrested. Or let's just say this. Let's say a Free Karen Read supporter acted the way that JLR did today and walked up to those court steps and were harassing people, they would be arrested. Why was JLR not arrested today? I mean, essentially it violated the buffer zone. Am I crazy to say that? What do you all think? Did JLR violate the buffer zone today? Should he have been arrested or taken out of that area and not allowed and banned from that area, not allowed to come back? But I guarantee you that he'll swoop in, he'll do a couple of days here, and he'll run off because he knows what he was doing today. He wanted to cause controversy in that area to make it more difficult for everybody else. That's my opinion.
4 days of jury selection so far. The court is looking to seat 16 total to hear the case. What they're looking for is 20 total before it gets whittled down to the 16. That includes the 12 jurors and the 4 alternates. And we also learned that the judge will allow background checks on all of the jurors before they are sworn in to check their criminal records. That was asked for by the Commonwealth. But again, a lot of people saying that they can't serve on this jury, not because they know about the case. Everybody seems to know about the case, but because they can't.
I'm going to stop the video here because Danny makes a great point. I heard about this earlier today. JLR showed up at Aiden Carney's children's house where his children live. How is that not intimidating? He has no business being there. So what he's doing is he's trying to create controversy for Aiden to come after him, to get some eyes on him, to create a back and forth. This is all by design. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. He has no business being here. He has no business reporting on this case. He really doesn't care. So he's just, like I said, going to swoop in, play a couple of days here, try to mix it up as best as he can, get all eyes on him to get attention to his YouTube channel. And I listen, he's got what? Almost 200,000 subscribers on there. But that doesn't make it right for you to come here and do this. You're really not reporting here. You're here and you're here causing trouble. And you're here to make everybody else look bad because of you. We don't associate ourselves with JLR. Certainly I don't. I unsubscribed from his channel today. And I will not be supporting him any time further for his actions today. Acted like a child. Acted like a complete child to get clicks and views on his channel. He doesn't care about what's going on here. He really doesn't. We'll probably never see him again. He's probably already left. Or he's going to go back out there for a couple more days and create this controversy so people look at him. That's all this is. All eyes on me.
Serve the length of time, because now we're hearing it's between 6 and 8 weeks of testimony.
That is a significant amount of time. That can be a hardship for many people. Matt Johnson, thanks so much for that report on the.
All right. So let's get to actually what happened down there today in court, or in front of court this morning. And then we'll back up. We'll back up a little bit. Actually, what happened with Aiden the other day when JLR just showed up like this rambling, unhinged moron, in my opinion. But let's pull this up here and we'll get a little bit of a taste there, and then we'll go to my video.
Selection picks back up.
This is from NBC 10 Boston. They were out there today interviewing. You can go back and see they were actually talking to some people during my live stream today out there. So really crazy stuff. All right, let's play through this video here. I got the tab. Let's go.
Today in the Karen Reed murder trial, she is accused of murdering her boyfriend, a Boston police officer, hitting him with her car back in 2022. Now, this is new video of Reed walking into court this morning. She was greeted by a handful of supporters, but was also yelled at by one very vocal critic. Right now, there are 19 jurors picked, but some may have to withdraw for hardship, so they're really trying to solidify the number of jurors today. Meanwhile, though, a new petition has been filed to reverse a 200-foot buffer zone at the Norfolk Superior Courthouse. So the order actually prevents demonstrators outside of court from getting too close to potential jurors in the case. The lawyer who filed this petition argues, though, the order violates the First Amendment. So the state of Massachusetts has until today to submit their case before the SJC can make a final decision. Testimony, by the way, in this case could start on Monday. And we want to remind you that NBC 10 Boston and our sister station, NECN, will have continuing coverage of the Karen Reed trial. We will carry all the testimony live for you on NECN, NBC10Boston.com, and on our streaming platforms as well. You can also find a breakdown of this trial and the witnesses all on our website.
All right. So now let's get to what happened today, and then we'll back up a little bit about what happened yesterday. But I want to give everybody context to actually what happened out there today. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up, and then we'll get into Coffindaffer, of course, too. Let's pull up my video here. I don't even think I have it queued up. Hang on one second. Let me grab that video. Let's see. Monday trial should start. Start on Monday. Monday. Let's queue up this. Here we go. This is what happened today. This is what happened this morning.
Prison, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer? You're going to prison, aren't you? Right?
Morning.
Do you have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family? Do you have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family? Huh? Will you denounce your supporters harassing the O'Keefe family? Will you denounce your reporters harassing the O'Keefe family, Karen? Shame on you, Karen. That's what people say. Karen, anything to say, Karen? You're going to spend the rest of your life in this old Hey, Karen, how does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer? You're going to prison, Karen, aren't you? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? Shame on you for what you did to the O'Keefe family. Shame on you, Karen.
So let me back up a little bit here. How is he allowed to do this? And he bumps a police officer. He actually made contact with a police officer through all of that. So how is he not arrested? Can someone explain that to me? Isn't that breaking the violations of the buffer zone? Screaming like that, tainting a jury. It was heard inside the courthouse today.
You're going to prison, Karen, aren't you? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? Shame on you for what you did to the O'Keefe family. Shame on you, Karen.
Turtleboy gets arrested.
Have a great day, sir. God bless you guys. Karen Reed is guilty, right?
Yes, sir.
Think so?
Yeah, you need help.
You need help.
All right, folks.
You need help.
Folks, let's go back. Let's go back. Outside the buffer zone, please. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
No, not really. Just like Sandra committed suicide. Sounds like Sandra committed suicide when you say shit like that.
Have a great day, man.
Oh, I
Take
know.
care.
Justice for Sandra Birchmore.
Have a great day.
I love you holding up those signs.
Rosie. That's Mom Nancy.
Grant your sunshine compared to this one, sir.
Not Jen.
Well, no,
Good morning. How are you? Good morning.
I say, one of the state troopers, very nice, asked me how I was doing today. I thought they were very kind in the sense, but they should have, should have pushed this lunatic out, this unhinged lunatic. I don't see how this helps anything. To me, that's tainting the jury. If that was one of us, or if it was Turtleboy, instantly arrested. Guarantee it. Instantly arrested. I just have a question. When I'm playing videos, is it lagging at all? If it's lagging, let me know. Just let me know. Just give me a 1 in the chat if it is lagging, because that's something that I have to work out here with the Wi-Fi. So when I'm playing videos, are they lagging at all on your end? If they are, just throw a 1 up in the chat. That's something that I can work on. Crazy, unhinged, absolutely unhinged.
They're gonna be coming out of the woodwork. Go back and forth.
Not lagging, perfect.
They see the crowd.
Perfect.
Watch this too.
Great. Excellent. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, because
Did Tom blow my kiss?
Crystal, stop floating around. Come on.
Always trying to help somewhere or another.
All right, gang.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Good
very
morning.
much.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I got a minute with you.
Yeah.
And there he goes, JLR out of here. Gone, crossing the street.
My little guy.
All right, let's get into what happened with Turtleboy the other day when JLR showed up. So you got that. You can be able to, let me just grab the link for that video if you want to watch it later without my commentary, of course, or if you want to share the video, I would appreciate it. But I'll pull that up here again. I'll drop the link to that video and you can watch it or share it with your friends and let them know what was going on outside of the jury selection day 5 at the Karen Reed trial. Just unhinged. It's funny too. And I'm going to go back to my live here. I know the video was a little botched today because outside of court, there's so much things interfering with the signal out there. But let me pull this up here. I'll kind of show you his actions before. I mean, you can see he's pacing like a caged lion or something. Look at, he's pacing here. And I apologize, the video is not the greatest quality because of the just the interference with the signal around it. But let's just watch some of this real quick.
For them to file the dismissal, they
Yeah.
use the discovery.
Pacing.
This is the third.
Of course, teaming up with Grant.
So the judge seems
Yeah.
wants everything in. Now,
Get some more of that. Look at him pacing. Pacing. Pacing.
yeah.
I actually have to say, and I know I'm probably getting some shit for this, Grant was actually okay today. I gotta say, he was kind to me. He didn't have any problems with me. I didn't have any problems with him. He came over and talked to us. He was talking to me the other day. I know people are gonna get on me about it, but he was actually not that bad today. It was. I think Chrissy's trying to do a good job of kind of calming him down a little bit, and he's calmed down. He actually said, "I got some questions for Karen today that aren't going to be that offensive or whatever," but he wasn't that bad. I know I'm probably going to get killed in the chat, but Grant is Grant. We know what we get. But I want to see if we can catch more of this pacing back and forth.
Tom, I'm thinking about getting a rig that can.
Me and my talking about rigs, and let's see. I think we got more pacing.
So
So this is what happened, of course, on the live.
The
Karen
judge is
showed up.
6 feet away from the lawyer's table.
Yep.
The press box.
Karen's showing up now.
Oh man, that's good. I'm telling you.
Look at Tom takes off. Good job, Tommy.
Brad, don't trip.
Do me a favor, if you just haven't already, please smash the like button. Let's get this stream out there into the YouTube algorithm.
How does it feel to be known as a cop killer? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer? You're going to prison.
Tom is great.
Morning.
And his running shoes on.
What you did to the O'Keefe family. Do you have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe
Good morning.
family? Huh? Will you denounce your supporters harassing the O'Keefe family? Will you denounce your reporters harassing the O'Keefe family? Karen, shame on you, Karen. That's what people say. Karen, anything to say? Karen, you're going to spend the rest of your life in the
And here I am. I take off across the street to get the forward shot. Yeah, Yannetti was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I saw that too. That was kind of fun over.
You're going to prison, Karen, aren't you? How's it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? Shame on you for what you did to their O'Keefe family. Shame on you, Karen.
We bumped the police officer there.
Turtleboy got arrested. Have a great day, sir. God bless you guys. Karen Reed is guilty, right? Yeah, man.
Tina right here. Tina says, I'm floored at how JLR was acting. I've never actually seen him act like this. I unsubscribed today. You know, I did too. I was not impressed when I found out what he did the other day and then what he did today. I was not impressed at all. A little taken back. I think he had an opportunity down here to come down and report the truth, but he wanted to come down and act like an unhinged moron to get some eyes on him, to get eyes on his YouTube channel and get himself out in the media so people get curious and go to his channel and say, oh, who's this guy? What's going on? You know, and I find it crazy that, you know, if he did say anything about, you know, us talking about and discussing it, we have every right to do that. I mean, I have every right to do that. He put a video out and said shaming Karen Reed on his channel. I'm not going to play it, but Karen Reed being shamed. But I have every right to report on that and talk about it. It's something that happened down there today. And I wanted to bring forward to all of you so you could see this side of it, of what happened. And it was just completely unhinged. It was not called, you know, not called for. All right, let's keep playing.
Outside the buffer zone, please. Let's go. Take him out.
AC 329 says I unscribed from him yesterday.
No, not really. Just like Sandra committed suicide. Sounds like Sandra committed suicide when you say shit like that. No, I know.
Yeah, I also know that I think that he's either said some things about Sandra Birchmore's case that he believes that she did commit suicide. And, you know, obviously that's going to make a lot of people angry because we know what happened in Sandra's case as well, too. And the feds had to step in and investigate that. So hopefully will be justice in that case. We'll continue to cover that here on this channel as well, too. All right, let's keep playing through a little bit more of this.
I love you holding up those signs.
Because right here,
Grant, your sunshine compared to this loser.
That's Jen O'Donnell.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning.
Officer being very nice. All right, so we kind of already seen this. If you want to go back and watch my live stream today, I had a couple of interviews in there that went really great. You can check that out, review it after the stream. I'll drop the link there in the chat. Let's just take a moment to read some Cash Apps and some Buy Me a Coffees that came through. We'll go to the Cash App first. Let's see. Thank you for the support on the Cash App. let's see. Pierre, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate that. And on the Buy Me a Coffees, I think I had a couple that came through, and I want to read those as well. If you want to donate to my channel, you can. The links are up there above. If not, Nightbot is dropping a bunch of links here in the chat. I would appreciate the support. Let's take a look here. Give me a second here. I'm going to log in. I had Crafts Mom, thank you so much for the 15 that came through on Buy Me a Coffee. I super appreciate the support. You can also super chat if you want your comment to be highlighted. If it's a very important comment and you want it to be brought up, please feel free to super chat as well too. All right, so we've seen basically that video. I posted the link there if you want to check it out in the chat. Let's get back to what happened yesterday with JLR, with Turtleboy. And I obviously think that he's using Turtleboy now as his stepping stone to implement himself in this case and get some all eyes on him. I'll be curious to see if he's going to be back there at the start of trial, but basically came in, swooped in, pulled his BS move today, and then swooped out of there. So let's go through here. We'll pull up what happened with Turtleboy yesterday. Let's see. Let me get the video. Then we're going to get into Coffindaffer as well too. TV, hope you don't mind. We'll play your video here.
Documents be filed by May 8th, with both parties due back in court on May 23rd.
All right. So, yeah. So I hate even giving this guy attention because it's clearly what he wants. And I'm sure Will will say I'm probably making a mistake by doing this. But I just got to recreate my day here. Just show a couple quick videos about what I was greeted by when I came to court. So I'm walking in. I come back from the center of town. I'm walking towards court like I always do. And before I can even cross the street, I see some dude coming up to me with a camera. I'm like, who's this? I never, like, I know my hecklers. And he's like, Aiden, Turtleboy. And I'm like, yep. And then he just starts going off about, you're going to prison. And it's like, yeah, I'm really not. But okay, if you say so.
I think it goes, yeah, I'm really not.
Wherever you are.
Okay.
So I just decided to take my camera out and I started filming too. So this is what I saw. If you guys didn't see this from my perspective about what happened.
We're down here. We're at the courthouse. We got somebody here, a friend. I have a fan here.
I do know my hecklers.
Who is this guy? Who are you? Who is? What does this pass say? What does this pass say? He's so angry. He's so mad. He knows. He's talking about my mom.
He kept saying my mom.
Keith. So rude.
My dad, Keith. My dad's not named Keith.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Wait till you find out what Jen McCabe did to the O'Keefe family. Wait till you find out what she did. It's a lot worse.
It's true.
It's a lot worse.
It's true.
It's a lot worse. This guy is so mad. Look at him. Who is this guy?
Jonathan Lee. I think it's the Glamour. Is that Dolly? No.
I thought Dolly Vision.
I thought that was Dolly Vision.
Okay, I don't know who this guy is. Who is this guy? He's so mad. He's so mad. Anyway, I guess my entourage just doesn't. What's up, people? We're down here at Norfolk Superior Court. I guess.
Right, let's pause this real quick. Casey 329, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Scott checking in. Scott says, let's see. Scott says, I was live at Leominster Court. And let's see, trying to read this. I was live at Leominster's DC on Tom's live today, and I could hear your voice at the Dedham in Tom's background. I'm so glad you were boots on the ground. Go. Thank you, Scott. Yes, I was there, and I actually did hear you on the live, and that was great that you got the opportunity to chime in. And I'm sorry that I missed you. Did you make it back to Dedham? And I'm sorry if you were there, I missed you. But I plan on being out there for longer days during the trial, boots on the ground, capturing this footage for everybody out in front of the court. And it's nice to see Tom out there. I'm glad that Tom's doing his thing. He does great coverage out there. And it's always a pleasure to be in front of Tom and hang out with him. And he's such a sweet guy and does such a great job out there. I love Tom. Tom's just great. Like, sweet, warm-hearted person when you talk to him. And if you're ever out there supporting over and talk to Tom CPU, I got to have him back here on the show. I said it to him today. I said, Tom, I got to have you back on the show. And he's definitely one of the guests that I want to get in here in my studio and sit down and have like a full-fledged in-person conversation with him. So such a great guy. Let's do this. Lou Boston, thank you for becoming a new member and supporting the channel. I appreciate you. I super appreciate you. Thank you. Tom is the best. Tom's such a sweet guy. Such a sweet guy. All right, let's keep playing through this and see what JLR shenanigans he was up to, disrupting everything, trying to get all eyes on him, trying to take over what's going on down in front of the courthouse.
I guess it's a glare troll. I don't know who the guy is. He thinks my dad's name is Keith, though. He keeps going, how's your mom doing? Fine, I guess. How's your dad Keith doing? I'm like, don't live in a trailer park. Don't know what that's like to have a dad named Keith. But, you know.
Sorry, Keith.
Cheeseburgers now.
I thought that was Dolly Vision.
No, it's Richard.
How many mentally incapacitated fans, trolls does he have? This guy's so mad. He's so mad. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. What brand of those shoes, sir? What brand of these? Look at those shoes. Look at this. What brand of those? What brand of those? Are those Walmart brands? Where do you even get that?
Why is he so poor?
Oh my gosh.
He's so poor.
He's so mad. He's so mad. I think so, yeah. That's intimidating a witness. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
what we're doing. I'm a witness in a whole bunch of.
I was going to say, Turtleboy's a witness. Isn't that witness intimidation, what you're doing? In front of a courthouse. Doing this in front of a courthouse to a witness in a case. That's witness intimidation. Right in front of the courthouse. I think Aiden's got a point.
Shit.
Good
Whole
point.
bunch of stuff.
I don't know.
Whole bunch of stuff.
Legit never seen that brand of shoes. I don't know what brand that was.
He sexually harassed her.
Oh, he did? Oh, crap.
He's intimidating a witness, sir. He's intimidating me.
Intimidating the
I'm a witness.
I am a witness.
I'm a witness. I'm emotionally harmed.
I am.
I'm emotionally harmed. Okay? Emotional harm.
That counts. That counts.
Hey, he's so mad. What did he say?
He's on his way to your mother's
You're at
house.
my mama's house.
Yeah, he kept saying he's going to my mom's house.
How rude.
I got a picture of it. I zoomed in. It's
Can we go
Okay.
there?
Investigates 192,000 subscribers. That's not bad. What's his problem?
I have no
I only offended them so much. All right, I care about the O'Keefe family. I do. I want them to get justice. It's sad what's happening to them.
Agreed.
It's really sad that they show up to court hearings with the people who killed John.
A little awkward.
But maybe that's going to change with Mr. O'Keefe. He seems to be the smart one in the family. So we'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
How much she was paid?
Holy cow.
Flying these people out there.
Goodness gravy.
Come
Oh
on,
yeah, I guess that guy's name is JLR. I don't know who he is. I don't know. I guess he's a YouTube person.
He's in
I don't know.
the intro for the Clara.
Oh, but he's doing an interview.
To know who he is, I'm like,
He's being interviewed by NBC.
I don't even know which. Who you are.
Oh wait, so the media is interested. See, is that not indicative? Is that not indicative of everything wrong with the media right now? Though they're like, let's go interview this lunatic.
Right.
Let's go interview this
Why
lunatic
talk to this?
and give him
We're gonna
airtime.
find out in a minute.
Whatever, you know. What a loser! Loser!
He is.
Loser!
Loser.
All my fans. Oh, a bunch of stadies just pulled up. Hey, screw. We got a line out here already.
A
But,
loser.
yeah, I'm kind of curious. Yeah, that guy was so mad. But yeah, who is that guy?
Did he come back?
He's a subscriber, or maybe he is. I don't know.
I thought he was a subscriber.
Who is he?
I don't
know.
think he's in Turtle Club.
Is he a McAlbert? Is he a plant? I don't know. But just to be clear, he asked me, like, how could you do this to the O'Keefe family? I haven't done anything to the O'Keefe family.
Right.
Literally nothing. Like nothing happened. Walk around,
All right.
just curious, interesting. Is that a real?
I don't think he comes.
Filing.
All right.
So we'll see.
So,
But anyway, guys,
so there's that, and then one other. So he's there when I came outside after court, and he follows me to my car. Okay,
Oh,
now
gosh.
he's like afraid of the police because, we're gonna say, he's like he's a real piece of shit. Like he's been to jail, federal prison for 10 years for ripping off little old ladies. He had this whole phishing scam. you know, he stole over $1.4 million from people.
I
Went to
didn't think it
federal
was that
prison
much.
for it.
Wow.
No joke. And then gets out and he's just as bad. He's just like a complete degenerate who wants attention. So I guess he's getting kind of what he wants.
Yeah.
But I think he showed up thinking I was going to be like rattled, like he could rattle me. Like, dude, you can't rattle me. Like,
oh, and that was another thing too.
Watch a couple of my.
He was today after the whole thing out in front of the courthouse that he did his big unhinged display. He was shaking like just adrenaline shakes. You know, like when you catch someone in a lie and you confront them and they shake. They do that shake. You know, they're like he was just so like unhinged and shaking. It's like he got caught like stealing the cookies out of the cookie jar. Couldn't control himself. He was all like winded, like like just like complete adrenaline is taking over him. It was like kind of crazy watching it. I was like, dude, like what's going on, bro? Yeah, like trembling and just like crazy crap. Like what the hell's wrong with this guy? And then just the pacing. I literally watched him pace for like 45 minutes before Karen showed up. It was almost like he was like building himself up to strike. This is very odd behavior. But we'll play through this a little bit more. I want to see when TB got confronted out in the parking lot.
My shows, dude. Like, I'm not that guy. I'm the other guy. I'm the guy you can't rattle. Like, stop it, dude. Just give up. So let me show you here what happened on our way out.
Oh gosh.
You're going to prison, Turtle. An army coming.
Oh,
yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. Don't touch my phone, lady. Don't. You're going to prison,
Oh,
Turtle Boy.
probably
not.
Turtle Boy, you're going to prison.
I don't know.
Shame
I don't
on
think
you
I
for
am.
what you did to the O'Keefe family.
We're fighting for
Shame
justice
on
for the
you
O'Keefe
what
family.
you did to the
Shame
O'Keefe
on Jennifer
family.
McCabe.
You're going to prison
Shame
for a
on
long
Jennifer
time.
McCabe.
You're
for
going
Watch
to
this,
prison
watch
for a long
this.
time. We're coming.
You've been to
We're
prison.
coming.
haven't you?
Yes,
Look
and
at
you're
your
going.
ass.
You're
Prison
going.
boy.
You're going.
Prison
You're going
boy.
to prison.
Prison boy. I got a little prison boy.
Look at
Look at him. Look at him. Look at prison boy.
Prison boy. Prison boy.
Prison boy.
You're going to prison.
boy.
You're going to prison, Aiden.
There
You're
he
going to prison.
Yeah, he's the new
boy.
Richie.
There he is.
Bubba is
There he
waiting
is.
for you. We're
There
gonna
he
be here
is.
every
Prison
day at your
boy.
trial.
Who's
There he
we?
is.
We're going to be here every day at
Prison
your
boy.
trial. Don't push me.
Woo-hoo.
Don't push me. I'll press charges.
Oh, he's scared of a girl. He's scared of a girl. Oh, what a... He's so
crazy.
mad. He's so
very
mad.
You're going to prison.
Oh, he's so
Shame on
mad.
you for what you did
He's
to
so
the
mad.
family. Shame
He's
on
so
you.
mad.
You're going to prison.
Prison
Oh,
boy.
it sounds spicy. I don't think I am. I don't think I am.
Shame on you for what you
Yeah.
He comes back.
Yeah.
He comes
The
back.
same thing.
Prison boy.
Why is he keep saying the same thing? It's like three things he says.
To the O'Keefe family.
The O'Keefe?
You're going to prison.
The O'Keefe family.
Yeah, you should probably learn their name, buddy.
Yeah,
It's actually O'Keefe.
feel like I
O'Keefe.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I don't think he cares that much.
It works
I don't
both
think
ways.
he cares that much.
I was the one being protected.
Oh, he's coming to my house.
You see that?
Oh, he's coming. He's coming. Witnesses. No, I don't think he cares that much. I don't think he cares that much.
I'll see you at your house.
Oh, he's coming to my house. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. Witness intimidation. Witness. You know, it's witness
Why is
intimidation.
he so
Your
mad?
mom's name is Mary Mullane.
Oh, no. He's going to my mom's house. He says he's going to my mom's house. Yep. You might want to pick up your pants.
Very angry.
Yeah. Aiden, you're going to prison.
Look at his pants.
You're going to
Look at his
prison,
pants. Look at
clown.
them. They all
Clown,
look like
you're
this.
going to prison,
I want you guys
clown.
to look at his shoes.
You are going to
Those are
prison.
Walmart gym shoes.
You're going to prison,
Walmart
clown.
for hipsters.
Clown, you're going to prison.
So mad.
Clown, you're going to prison. You're going to prison.
Who is this guy?
You're going to prison.
I gotta be careful because, like, this is like what I thought about.
This is nuts. I haven't even seen
This
this.
dude was trying to provoke a situation.
Like, I haven't seen this. This is crazy. I heard about it, but this is my first time seeing. This is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Let me just get to a couple of Cash Apps that came through. Roxanne, thank you so much for the 5. I appreciate it on Cash App, and I have Venmo come through from Cheryl. Thank you so much for the 10 on Venmo. I really appreciate the support. This is crazy. This is completely unhinged. Very unhinged. I am surprised. I don't know why he's very, very angry. Very worked up. Very shaky, trembling, worked up. It's nuts.
Situation here where I put hands on him. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If I wanted to, I would fucking wreck this guy. Like, I would love to just fucking wreck this dude. Like, and he knows it. This dude knows I would absolutely fucking ruin him. He knows that.
No one touched him.
And he knows I would like to do that. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to be prison boy. He's prison boy. I don't go to prison. He goes to prison. So they would love to. This is what the whole purpose of bail is to jam me up on something like this. I do something stupid. I lose my cool for a minute or whatever. Like, so I could beat the fuck out of this guy. Everybody knows that, but I'm not going to, just because with great power comes great responsibility. Right. And this guy knows JRL. So JRL knows, like, if I wanted to, I would, like, it would be over in 2 seconds. He can't even keep his pants up, for crying out loud. And he's litigious, I'm told, too.
Shame on you for what you did. We're going to be back. We're coming back.
What?
Shame on you.
Who's
We're
we?
going to come back. You're out on bond. You're out on bond.
He knows.
You're going to be violent.
What is going on with that guy's eyes? What does he say? Who is we? We're coming back? Who's we? Yeah. Like, wow, how many multiple personalities who is we? That's pretty crazy. The we stuff is nuts.
Prison boy. He's
what
prison boy.
We're
I don't go to
coming
prison. He goes to prison. So they would love to. This is what the whole purpose of bail is to jam me up on something like this. I do something stupid. I lose my cool for a minute or whatever. Like, so I could beat the fuck out of this guy. Everybody knows that, but I'm not going to, just because with great power comes great responsibility. Right. And this guy knows JRL. So JRL knows, like, if I wanted to, I would, like, it would be over in 2 seconds. He can't even keep his pants up, for crying out loud. And he's litigious, I'm told, too.
Let me just pull this up real quick. Lou Boston, super chat coming in, says $5. Thank you for the 5. Says, we need to stop feeding the crazies. I agree, but unfortunately, this kind of stuff happens. You know, who knows? He sticks around for a couple more days. He's out of here. Have no idea. But obviously, he's trying to make the name for himself. He's trying to act as hinges as possible to get himself get talked about in what's going on here in Massachusetts. Real quick, want to get to the Cash App here. Let's see. Renee, thanks for the 10 on the 10 Cash Apps. Says, thank you, Brian, for reporting with respect and kindness. Thank you for being here, part of this respectful and kind channel here. We welcome all here, but we discuss things that happen in front of the courthouse. We have to. I mean, this is news. It's part of what's going on. I know some people get very upset about the craziness, but hey, it happened. We need to talk about it. All right, we're going to get through this a little bit more, and then we'll get into Jennifer Coffindaffer.
Shame on you for what you did. We're going to be back. We're coming back.
Who's we?
Shame on you.
We're
going to come back. You're out on bond. You're out on bond.
He knows.
You're going to be violent. He's out on bond. He's on bond. He's on bond. He's on bond.
Look at his pants. Look at his pants.
He's on bond. He's a danger. Okay, you're going to prison.
I'm really not, but okay.
See you soon.
Bye.
No, I would never. I'm not going to
Pull your pants up.
just because I could doesn't
Pull
mean
your
I
pants
should.
up.
I am a bum. I know
Okay,
that.
so that was fun. Just another day in the life. Just another day in the life. I don't know. That's some YouTube guy. I don't even know who the hell he is. The first time hearing this guy. Yeah, that's a Glares buddy. So anyway,
so the best part about this, and this is probably the part that hurts most for him, is that I have no fucking clue who he is. Like, that's the beauty of this, is that, like, he knows who I am. Wherever he's from, he came all the way here from.
Yeah, he's from Florida.
And I'm like, I think he expected me to be like, oh, you're a rival YouTuber. I don't like you. You're a rival. Give me attention and make me a rival.
Exactly what he wants.
He's just not. I have no fucking clue who this guy is. Looks like he has 192,000 subs. How many of those are bought? Like, I know these bot farmers, when I see them, like, if I go to his channel right now, like, would the
views will be really low.
Let's see, what's it? JLR Investigates.
He's going to prove it.
Bring the glare on one moment because he knows this guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this guy and I'm like seeing his, like, look at these views. Okay, this is how I know these are fake, right? Just look at these views for one moment, right? So his last, 11,000, 4,000, 16,000, right? He's got 4 times the subs I got, but I'm getting more views on my videos. Why is that? Because they're fake. Because these guys are con artists. He's just a con artist. So again, but so I found out that this guy, that Will knows him a lot better than I do. That he knows all about him. And I was watching his stream on the way home, and like the first thing he said, let me just play this clip before I bring him on. Like I thought he said.
All right,
this.
so I'm going to stop there. Obviously, if you want to go over and watch the completion of that, if you haven't seen it, go give Turtleboy obviously some support. I'll drop the video if you want to complete the conversation. He's going to have Will up there and have the conversation about JLR. But I dropped the video link there. So let's go on to, let's see, outside here. Turtleboy obviously was been in court last couple of days on this fraudulent witness intimidation. And I believe he was up in Leominster Court today with another issue that's going on, another witness intimidation. But he wasn't the witness. He was being intimidated by someone. So it's this is a crazy case going on. But let's play this here.
Set to resume tomorrow, but the controversial blogger known as Turtleboy faced a judge this afternoon for his alleged interference in the case. Thanks for being with us, everyone. I'm JC Monahan. And
let me just pull this up real quick. $5 super chat. $5 super chat from Jack W. Says, Aiden, you are 99% correct on that. JLR. Ooh, excuse me. Whoa, that was a big burp. JLR is a bot. I can't say 100% because I don't want to get sued first. So he's 100% a bot. He kind of looks like a bot there. It's really weird. His eyes were strange. Super strange. All right, let's play this.
So our Kirsten Glavin is live for us at Norfolk Superior Court with more details on what happened. Kirsten, fill us in.
Well, Kearney and his attorney made the case today that the Commonwealth is intentionally withholding documents to try and slow this whole process down. Now, the judge ultimately did give the state a deadline to try and get everything together. A walk-up to Norfolk Superior Court in Dedham met with fireworks.
Shame on you, Aiden!
A self-proclaimed YouTuber from Florida insulting and accusing the blogger known as Turtleboy of witness intimidation in the Karen Reed murder case.
You're going to prison! Shame on you for what you did to the
Aiden Kearney, a social media guru, responding with a Facebook Live battle. Kearney back in court Tuesday for a pretrial hearing. He was indicted back in December, pleading not guilty on charges of intimidating and harassing witnesses.
And that's all I have, Your Honor, is a big load of junk.
In court, his attorney arguing the state has intentionally withheld documents from them, causing a delay in discovery. Special Prosecutor Kenneth Mello appearing virtually due to health issues, but denying that claim.
I take some offense to the allegation that we're attempting to delay this. That's certainly not a marching order I've ever received.
Kearney leaving frustrated.
This is intentional.
Carney, why can they not get his last name correct?
As long as possible,
it's
so they can put me
Carney
on bail, so they can try to jam me up on something again. That's the whole purpose of this.
Never seen this in 30 years. We're waiting for our grand jury minutes, and I happen to look at the discovery notices from the Karen Reed case, and I see that my grand jury minutes that should be in my file cabinet, which are nowhere to be found, are already given to the Karen Reed defense team in that case. So how does that happen?
Now, a judge did order that a lot of those missing documents be filed by May 8th, with both parties due back in court on May 23rd.
All right, some reporting there. Let's see. All right, let's go to Coffindaffer and talk about her live that she did the other day, saying that people outside the courthouse are trying to taint the jury pool, which is incorrect. Dumb statement to say. I think she was out there over the last couple of days, but we'll play through this here. Jury pool contamination in the John O'Keefe case with a question mark. Coffindaffer, let's hear it.
For Coffindaffer here, your host to Break the Case. And the reason I wanted to do just a very quick, very short live is because of new information regarding the jury pool, specifically a particular.
And I will put this out there. If any of these YouTubers, or I would love to see Coffindaffer and Melanie Little on a panel to discuss the Karen Reed case, I will be your happy host. I'll put that out there. I would love to host it here on my channel. I will be the moderator. But if anybody wants to have a back and forth about the Karen Reed case, come to LTL Media. I will be your host, and they can battle it out. All right, let's hear Coffindaffer about this tainted jury pool. The concern.
Potential juror that was dismissed and wasn't allowed to be on the jury for the John O'Keefe case, specifically talked about something that's very concerning. She said she spoke with a juror that was picked, and that juror had been asked by the judge, along with everyone else, if they had heard of this case or had known about the John O'Keefe case. And that juror said no. However, according to this juror that was not selected, she said she had a conversation with that juror.
Be right back.
About this case, and basically, could it be this case that they were reporting on? In other words, indicating she already knew, she indeed knew about the John O'Keefe case. I find that all very concerning. This juror also talked about the fact that the jurors could hear the protesting, could hear the screaming and yelling, free Karen Reed, Karen Reed's innocent, so on and so forth. And that is also very concerning. That's the whole reason why the judge wanted a 200-foot barrier. When I heard 200 foot, I thought it should have been a mile barrier, because there's no way for these jurors not to see all this hoopla. They're in the midst of all of this. But I think what's most concerning, particularly based on what was done prior to this jury ever going through Verdire, was all of the sensationalism, all the protesting, people in the streets shouting, "We are going to affect this jury pool. That's why we're out here. We are out here messing with your potential jurors," wanting to taint this jury pool. I don't know this county, Norfolk County. I've never lived there, but I had hoped that maybe somebody could come in with a clean, fresh slate, and maybe they.
All right, I'm going to pause that right there. I want to go back to a statement that Coffindaffer just made there, that people want to come here and taint the jury. That's a false statement. That's a false statement. I'm going to go back here.
This jury pool, that's why we're to barrier, because there's no way for these jurors not to see all this hoopla. They're in the midst of all of this. But I think what's most concerning, particularly based on what was done prior to this jury ever going through Verdire, was all of the sensationalism, all the protesting, people in the streets shouting, "We are going to affect this jury pool. That's why we're out here."
Who said that? I've never heard that when I've gone down to any of these hearings. I've never heard that during the 2 days that I've been down at jury selection. Bring forward someone that said that, Jennifer. I've never heard anybody say that. That they wanted to specifically taint the jury. That makes no sense. Anybody on the Free Karen Reed side, the supporters, want the fairest trial possible, the fairest jurors possible. Why would you want to go down and corrupt and taint the jury? That would make absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense.
We are out here messing with your potential jurors, wanting to taint this jury pool. I don't know this county, Norfolk County. I've never lived there.
I've never heard any of those words come out of a Free Karen Reed supporter. We want to taint the jury. That makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense.
There, but I had hoped that maybe somebody could come in with a clean, fresh slate, and maybe they have chosen 12 that are. But when I hear that a juror apparently was not truthful with the judge, again, if we're to believe the juror that wasn't selected, if that is true, that's a true adulteration of the pool, because what else is that juror not telling the truth about? Does that juror have preconceived notions, since that juror said she already knew about the case? And of course, it's very concerning that this jury pool, especially in light of the publicity in this case, is not being sequestered. Sequestration is something that judges don't like to do. They seldom do because it takes a huge toll.
I think the fact here is that Jennifer is upset that her own people, the FBI has stated in their report through the independent investigator that was hired, 3 PhDs, not for the Commonwealth, not for the defense, was hired and concluded in the accident reconstruction that the injuries to John O'Keefe are not consistent with being hit by Karen's SUV. And the damage to Karen Reed's SUV are not consistent with hitting a human being or hitting John O'Keefe. That's what she's upset about. Your own peeps, Jennifer, your own peeps concluded that. So I think that she's trying to just keep getting out there and spinning this narrative because she doesn't want to admit that the FBI has come forward and said this. It's in their report. And someone was saying to me, well, how do we even really know that Alan Jackson is telling the truth in open court? And I said back to them, and I said this on a live before. Do you think that Alan Jackson, the years of being attorney, would put himself on the line, put his law degree and his bar being on the line to lie for Karen Reed? And if he was lying, Lally has the report as well. Why didn't Lally stand up in that Friday hearing and say, no, that's not the truth? Because you know why? It's inside, what was it, a 4,600-page report? It's in that report. So Alan Jackson is not lying about the FBI conclusion to the injuries of John O'Keefe and the damage to Karen's SUV. I mean, they've solidified in their accident reconstruction. Let's keep playing.
Just serving on a jury takes
What's
a huge
going on
toll.
with water?
These jurors are going to have to see autopsy photos. They're going to have to see Officer John O'Keefe dead and severely harmed.
You know, the funny thing is, she almost slipped up there and said severely beaten. I'm telling you, it was on her brain. Let's back that up a little bit. She almost said severely beaten, harmed.
John O'Keefe dead and severely harmed.
See the B that's going to come out of her
mouth? They're going to see bruising. They're going to see what it looks like.
She says harmed.
And severely harmed.
Right there.
And they're going to see bruising. They're going to have to see autopsy photos. They're going to have to see Officer John O'Keefe dead and severely harmed. And they're going to see bruising. They're going to see what it looks like, what a dead body looks like. And many of them have never had to see that. They're going to have to feel all the emotion. They're going to hear it in the streets. We've been hearing it for months now already. And I guess perhaps I've always been very concerned that how in the world would they be able to find a jury pool in the same county where this occurred, hoping that they might pull from Boston, where a lot of people might not know the details about this case. But as it's been put in the media, this is a city divided. And the question is, all it takes is one juror, not 6, just one, to hang that jury. And I wonder if there will even be a verdict in this case. I wonder if all 12 jurors have any predisposition about this case. And again, you hope the voir dire process is a good one and can weed out those individuals who are not being honest with what they feel about this case. But now, again, if we're to believe this juror, she sounded believable to me, at least in her details she gave and telling the truth about her knowing about the case and telling the truth about being able to hear the protesters. I don't know why she would lie about.
The funny thing is, there was a juror, I believe, that had been picked on the Donald Trump trial and said, "Oh," they gave a statement, "I know who Donald Trump is and I know about all his business. I don't like him, but I'm trying to be honest as I can, serving as a juror." The irony.
This particular point, she was very specific. And I also find it interesting that every potential juror, apparently, when asked the question, "Have you heard about the John O'Keefe case?" they all raised their hand. Except this one juror. So being candid is so important. And even though I've already heard for myself certain people encouraging jurors to lie, potential jurors, because remember, voir dire isn't over. We have probably one more day on Monday of jury selection. Encouraging jurors to just not get caught if they're going to lie about their thoughts. Because again, from the very beginning of this case, part of the strategy of the defense team, including certain individuals who received financial gain and who have recorded extensively their urging to taint the jury pool, and that was their purpose.
Doesn't make any sense.
I just wonder if it was not accomplished. Hoping for justice for John O'Keefe.
Of course. Okay. We'll see ya. Goodbye. All right. Jennifer Coffindaffer. That's all I got to say about that. All right. We're going to finish this up. TV was on Howie Carr today. We'll finish the video out here, this live stream with TV on Howie Carr. I'm going to play that here. I just want to thank everybody for being back here at LTL Media. Thank you for watching this live tonight. I want to thank all the people that came in with their donations and support, and just the support of everybody being here, all the new members that have stepped up and become members today. I appreciate that. And it's been a long time coming. It feels good to be back. It feels good to be doing lives again, and being out in front of the courthouse and really being out there and reporting. It just feels great. All right, let's get to Howie Carr. We'll finish up with TV on Howie Carr, and then we're going to end this for the evening. Here we go, Howie.
He's the blogger who's been writing about the Karen Reed case. Now he's facing charges of his own, but the jury selection was completed today, is my understanding, and there'll be final motions heard tomorrow. Then Friday is a day off, and on Monday it's scheduled to begin. This trial is scheduled to begin with opening arguments. Is that right, Aiden? Do they have 20 jurors or 19? That's what I'm unclear about.
I heard they got 19. I heard they got rid of 5 today and then added 5 more because there was I don't know. People probably looked at their schedules and said, I can't afford to take 8 weeks off. I mean, who can?
Are we up to 8 weeks now? 8 weeks?
So, Scott, I won't be able to get out there this week. My 2 days off, I was out there. I have to get back to work. I got the full-time gig, so I'll be tied up pretty much all weekend. For some reason, my boss only likes to do 1 week schedule at a time, which makes absolutely no sense. I thought it was like by law that jobs have to post a 2-week schedule. So I don't have any schedule for next week. So I don't know what my days off are, but certainly when those days off come, I will get out there. I plan on trying to stay a little bit longer during those days to come out and kind of hang and do some boots on the ground reporting. I'm a little upset as far as the connection I've been getting outside of the courtroom. It's been a little unnerving because my service, I use Verizon. For some reason, the Verizon service is just garbage out there. And I got to talk to Tom. Maybe he's using a different service. I don't know if he uses Verizon, but the service has been kind of muffled. On some days, it's good. The first day I was out there, it was perfect. Today, it was an absolute nightmare. It was laggy. And had a lot of people kind of complaining, but I have no control over that. It just is what the stream is. But I do plan on bringing my DJI down there and getting some footage as well and getting that uploaded. So I don't know. Talk to Tom, see what I can do. But Scott, if I'm out there, I'll certainly talk to you. You know that. I'm going to try to be out there as much as I can next week when trial starts. So let's just go back up here really quick, and then we'll get back to TV. Renee, thank you so much for becoming a new member of the LTL Media crew. I appreciate it. All right, let's get back to TV and end this. Then we're going to wrap up the show for tonight.
I mean, I think that's what we're looking at when we're all said and done. I would say 7 weeks at least, but you never know.
Yeah.
Don't use a hotspot.
So let me ask you about your trial first. One of the reasons I wanted to call you today is I saw the picture of Mello.
I mean, I'm sorry, I use data. I turned my Wi-Fi off today. I turned my Bluetooth off today. I didn't want any interference, and I don't know. It's a tough area. You got to figure it's Courthouse. There's probably a million Wi-Fi's running in and out of there. That's causing the signal to break up. But I digress.
The special prosecutor who's going after you, and he's got the oxygen
Mello
in his nostrils. I haven't seen anything like that in court since Larry Zanino was being sentenced for being a mobster back in the 1980s. Turtleboy.
It's this weird thing. He gets really sick whenever we need discovery or something like that. Luckily, he gets really better when there's a chance to send me back to jail. Like on March 14th, he was spry. He kind of waltzed into the courtroom on March 14th. He was miraculously better. But then, yesterday, he couldn't breathe without those tubes in his nose. So I just hope he's okay.
And Larry Zanino, at least they made him come to court. I mean, he had the paramedic and the wheelchair and the tubes up his nostrils, but he was in court. This guy Mello can't even make it to court. And he's
Harvey Weinstein. They wheeled his ass into court. But Mello, he just couldn't do it. It's too much. He also doesn't drive. He doesn't have a license, so he gets dropped off at court by someone in a red truck. So we don't. Maybe his ride didn't want to pay for it. The trip from Fall River to Dedham. Who knows? But it just seems like he's lost his fastball a little bit. He's not as into this as he was back in the day. Once he realized he had to do actual work to go forward with this, and that it's actually a pretty daunting task. Like he's trying to
How old is he, by the way?
Kind of reminds me of Nicholas.
Oh yeah, he's like a Fall River 55. I would guess. I'm not sure.
Arthur Knight, yeah.
He looks rugged, but I don't want to judge him. I don't think he takes too good care of himself just by the looks of him. He's got the Morrissey kind of frame to him, but I don't know about his work ethic.
All those complaints to the Board of Bar Overseers will really take it out of you, I think.
Yeah. So they're not sending their best. They're not sending their best, and I just feel like they've lost their steam a little bit. And I think they're just waiting for the Reed trial to end, and I think eventually mine are going to get dropped because they can't go forward with this.
Yeah. So what's the latest on we keep going back to this proffer that was offered to the federal agent. I mean, have we learned anything more about what this involves and what he is going to testify? Or
I'm going to do some more digging on it. He had some court hearings. I haven't found any of the hearings. I may have to FOIA them. But we're going to get back on Arthur Knight because that's a very interesting case out of Providence, Rhode Island.
Not testify to, and what kind of deal the feds have offered him. I mean, I know we don't know the actual, official outlines, but what are your sources telling you about what he's going to say?
I mean, we don't know anything. We know nothing. Like because the feds don't They don't tell anyone anything what they're doing. Even Karen Reed's attorneys are kind of left in the dark about what the feds are investigating. So your guess is as good as mine. He said there's a federal proffer. I'll take him at his word that exists. That's obviously a serious thing for Brian Higgins. And, these people could, in the next few weeks, you're going to be wildly entertained. That's one thing I can guarantee you. You're going to see things in the courtroom that you've never seen before. All the prosecution gets to go first.
I love that too, Scott.
Everyone on their list has to get cross-examined. That includes all the McAlberts. And they're not going to do so well. These are people who aren't used to being challenged, who have been hiding from the spotlight this entire time.
Again, though, we've talked about this before. Just because someone's on a witness list, that doesn't mean they're going to be called. I mean, do you think they're going to call, like, say, Colin Albert as the prosecution's going to call him as a witness? I can't imagine it.
Look, they'd have to call Jennifer McCabe. They're going to have to call her because she's the star witness, and she is extremely arrogant, and she's most of these people have been kind of laying low a little bit. I've never seen Brian Albert or Colin Albert or Brian Higgins because they smartly just don't go out But Jennifer McCabe insists on living life as if nothing has changed, and so she goes out.
She's how long to die in cold, right?
Yes,
that's how long to die in cold. That's correct.
So obviously she's going to be asked how long to die in cold about her tweet at 2:27. I mean, and there's no way the judge can entertain or sustain a motion to deny the defense the right.
You meant her search
to ask that question. I mean, I would think the prosecution would want to ask that question. You want to put the bad stuff out there before you introduce your witness, right? But on the other hand, I can't really imagine that they're going to ask that question. They're going to ask her to explain what she meant by how long to die in cold, to Google that.
Yeah. And she'll, of course, say, I didn't do that. And then the prosecution will come in and try to save her and say, we have some, actually she did it at 6:24, which nobody disputes. Everybody agrees she did it later on. The defense contends she did that to mask the earlier one. But yeah, I mean, and to a juror, the juror's going to hear all this. And at best, the Commonwealth is going to get jurors to say, well, I don't know who's telling the truth, which means we have reasonable doubt.
Right.
At best, that is what they can hope to get out of it. Is that I don't know what happened, which means they're not going to convict her.
Yeah. Now, another thing that I keep wondering about is Michael Morrissey. Now, I know he's not a prosecution witness. Obviously, this is the district attorney who made this crazy videotape last summer and just put it out there. And it's just been shot full of holes since then. But again, I would think that this is a ways down the road when the defense has its chance to call witnesses. But damn well that the prosecution, Lally, the assistant DA, is gonna say, well, Your Honor, there's no reason to call the district attorney in this case. But again, I mean, I don't know how can she deny it after he made this idiotic statement.
Yeah, I mean, they've already made that argument. She has not made a ruling on it yet, is my understanding, and I think tomorrow she'll decide on that. I mean, but you're right. I mean, he voluntarily vouched for the witnesses. He didn't have to do that. He made himself part of this case. This victim witness advocate, Steve Nelson, is going to meetings with witnesses the day before they're supposed to testify in front of the federal grand jury, which is an odd thing why is he even meeting with the Alberts and the McCays? Right. They're not victims of anything. He's supposed to escort the family in, the O'Keefe family in, and he's meeting with Jennifer McCabe the day before she's supposed to testify in front of the federal grand jury, likely coaching them up what to say. So yeah, I mean, a fair judge would certainly allow Morrissey to be questioned, but this is Auntie Bev, so you never know what you're going to get.
So they're going to and again, I know you probably don't have the answers to this, but this is what people are asking: are the feds going to try to step into this? I would think not, but I didn't think they would go as far as they have. So what do you?
There's a lot of people that think that a theory is that they're going to give the prosecution the rope to hang themselves. Like they know things that the Commonwealth knows, and they want to see, is the Commonwealth ballsy enough to present evidence in court that the feds know, that the Commonwealth knows is inaccurate.
It's a theory.
It's phony. Will they present it? So a lot of people think that they're giving them the rope to hang themselves, and that there might be intervention halfway. There might be indictments that come halfway, into this. Who knows? That's what I mean by the next 2 months. You're going to be entertained by a court trial in ways that you've never been entertained before. This is going to blow O.J. Simpson out of the water. The amount of must-see theater you're going to see in this courtroom in Dedham.
But you know what it's going to be, though, Turtleboy, would be, my thought is, they're going to be a lot of these endless sidebar conferences. Objection, Your Honor. Oh, no, I'd like to meet the counsel at the sidebar. And then there'll be like a 20, 30-minute break. And they don't have mics on the sidebar conference, right?
Nope. And it's all going to be over what gets submitted to evidence, what you're allowed to ask, all that stuff. Because the last thing the prosecution wants is the defense asking questions of these witnesses, making them look stupid, which they're gonna do, and they're gonna, they're gonna be like, I guarantee there will be a situation where they have a sidebar. Like if they ask her about the Google search at 227, they're gonna ask for a sidebar and discuss whether or not can you ask that. They don't want them. Again, these people have nothing to hide, but they also can't answer any questions. It's the oddest thing.
Right. Well, so let's say Proctor is the first witness. He, the state police investigator from the DA's office who is under investigation, and he has his own damning texts with some of the quote unquote witnesses. The first question is going to be, the first defense question is going to be, if the prosecution doesn't answer it. And again, I'm used to trials in the federal court where they put out all the dirt on their witnesses, but I don't think that's going to happen here. I don't think they're going to play by the traditional, rules where you try to protect yourself because they have so much dirt to hide. I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Michael Proctor, I wouldn't be looking forward to this trial. If I was Jennifer McCabe, I wouldn't be looking forward to this trial. Nothing good can come of this for them. They've probably been fearing this for so long. There was an evidentiary hearing scheduled for May 24th of last year. That was set in stone. They canceled it the day before it was supposed to happen because the defense wanted to question Proctor, Brian Albert, and Jennifer McCabe. So these people I guarantee this, they're fearing this. They don't want to go with it.
Trooper Proctor, are you under investigation, an internal affairs investigation by the state police? Objection, Your Honor. Meet parties at the sidebar for a sidebar conference.
Did you lie to a state grand jury?
Objection, Your Honor.
There's so many questions to ask her. Why didn't, when she called 911 from outside the house, why didn't she tell the dispatcher she was outside her sister's house? The dispatcher tells her to get blankets, and she says she doesn't have any. She fails to mention, oh yeah, I'm outside of my sister's house, and her husband, he's a cop. So maybe I should go in there and wake up the first responder.
Yeah.
But they don't do that. They never came outside.
And I love the fact that David Yannetti, during that Friday, the Friday hearing before jury selection, threw Brian Albert out there and said, you are a first responder and you did not respond. You knew that someone was outside of your house. You knew that Officer John O'Keefe was outside your house on the lawn, incapacitated, and you did not respond. I love that Yannetti got that on the record.
The jurors are going to hear this, and they're going to have the same visceral reaction that I did and every other unbiased person did when they heard about this. At best, they're going to get reasonable doubt. At worst, these people are just going to the jurors are going to look at them and say, we know what's happening here. We're not stupid. We know that Karen Reed didn't do this. We know the people inside there did. One of you did it. We don't know which one of you did it.
So I'm going to answer this. JL says, I'd like to invoke my Fifth Amendment right. I think Melanie Little did a live on this and talked about this because it came up in her chat. And essentially she said, once I believe the testimony starts, or maybe they start giving some information as witnesses, they're not actually allowed to do that. So again, don't quote me on that. That's something that you can go back to one of her streams and discover, or I can kind of research it and try to get that answer here. Because I'm not fully engulfed with the law, but maybe we have an attorney in the room here that can answer it, but something that I'll definitely look into and get the answer on that.
But somebody must have, because he died and he didn't end up there on accident. So who did it?
I still want to know where Chloe is.
Yeah.
That's the $1 million question. But by the way, things are blowing up outside in the buffer zone today. It's kind of backfired.
What happened?
There's a McAlbert friend. Yeah, there's a McAlbert. Like, there's this guy that showed up yesterday. He's like,
but I would think that pleading the fifth wouldn't make you look good. You know, you don't want to talk about it. I think pleading the fifth really wouldn't make you look good. I think TV's going to talk about JLR right now.
Convicted felon named Jonathan Lee Riches or something. I'd never heard of him before. And he showed up and he started yelling at me and telling me I'm going to prison and all this stuff. And he did the same to Karen today inside the buffer zone. And so after court, the police were sure to like kind of crack down on it. And there's this one kind of McAlbert friendly reporter is Wendy Murphy's idiot son, Grant.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. That you had a phone off with him. Yeah.
Right, their phone off. Yeah, so he starts asking, like, grilling Karen about stupid questions or whatever, and the state police kind of just pushed him away. Go, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. And you know, those are the people that were cheering on censorship, you know,
right.
a couple weeks ago. But then when it happens to them, it's all of a sudden bad.
We got to take a break. Turtleboy, can you come back for a couple of minutes more? Couple of minutes till the bottom of the hour. We'll be right back. I'm Howie.
I'm going to fast forward through Howie's long.
.com or on Twitter.
Here we
Eden, go. I don't anticipate having you on before the opening arguments, but you know, you never know with this case. I mean, there could be some more bombshells coming out of the motions tomorrow.
Real quick, Benjamin chiming in. Benjamin, good to see you. Says, yes, you are correct. I believe Melanie said once testimony is given to the grand jury, you have to by law give testimony during a trial. I could be wrong, but I believe that's it. And I think you're right. I think you're correct on that.
All right.
Yeah, you never know. There's never a dull moment in Karen Reed hearings, for sure.
Yeah. So you told me that the state police that are supposedly enforcing the buffer zone right away from the courthouse, 200 feet, they didn't do anything with this guy that was hassling you yesterday and Karen Reed, the defendant, today.
Oh yeah, no, that guy, no. And then he came to my house today, Howie, where my kids live, right?
He came to your house?
Aiden's gonna report
it.
Yeah,
I found out because somebody sent me the YouTube video. He streamed outside of my house, right? And not that it's like when I do that, by the way, it's intimidating a witness,
right?
You know, because I am a witness in a couple other cases. Like you're not, I'm a protected.
I think Aiden needs to make a report.
Commonwealth of Massachusetts, you can't protest me, right? But when I do it, it's a felony, right? When someone else does it, it's just, you know, legally protected.
Well, I guess you're the same. Look on the bright side. I guess you're in the same class with Brett Kavanaugh. You know, some transgender comes to his house with knives and ropes and guns, and nothing happens to him, right? Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah, I mean, not just him though. The whole Supreme Court had that happen to him last year. At least the conservative ones did, and we were told that this is all, you know, just the American spirit of First Amendment protected speech. You can protest outside people's homes. You know, then I do it to Jennifer McCabe, and all of a sudden it becomes felony witness intimidation. It took, in fairness, it took 3 months. I did it in July. It became a felony witness about felony witness intimidation about 3 months later.
There were no witnesses, but you engaged in felony witness intimidation. I've never understood that one, but there's a lot about this trial I don't understand. Where can people follow you, Turtleboy?
They can follow me on tvdailynews.com or on Twitter at Dr. Turtleboy, because if Joe Biden's a doctor, then so am I.
And in this trial, people are asking, is this trial going to be on TV? Of course it is, right? You can get it. You're going to be able to get this trial anywhere, right?
Yeah, on YouTube. The multiple, all the major networks, I think, will stream it on YouTube. I'm not sure if it'll be on like network TV, but certainly on YouTube, it'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
Social media.
And again, there are going to be these lengthy sidebar conference, but the actual, there will be a lot of fireworks, I'm sure. This is going to be a very interesting trial.
Yeah, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before. If you thought Mark Furman was a bad witness, wait till you meet Michael Proctor.
Oh boy. It's true.
I want him to ask Higgins about the proffer. You know, people are going to learn a lot. A lot of people didn't know what a proffer was until the last couple of weeks. They're learning fast. This is a lesson for in legal tactics, criminology. Thank you, Turtleboy. I'm Howie Carr.
Good stuff. Good stuff, Aiden, on Howie Carr. Okay, everybody. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in this evening here on LTL Media. again, still getting settled in. I actually just put the order in for my custom computer. It should be here hopefully in about 2 weeks. Then we'll get all the rest of this gear set up, get a nice microphone that will cut out some of this echo that's happening. You got to understand, I got a $50 Amazon condenser mic. My bedroom at home is obviously a lot bigger, so this probably sounded a little bit better in there because I had full-fledged furniture in there, was doing it out of my bedroom. The bed is soaking up a lot of that reverberation. But I believe with the new mic, once we set that up and get it going, it's going to sound beautiful, and we won't have all this echo in here. I'm going to do a little bit more sound dampening. But we're getting there. I think the visuals look great. I have a nice art piece that's going to go up behind me. I wish I could show you the full-fledged studio, but I only got one camera set up. And then once people get set up and coming in live and sitting at the table, the big table in front of me, we'll be able to have some live discussions here and have a little bit more fun in reporting and following these cases. So thank you all so much for believing in me and continuing to follow LTL. I haven't fallen off. I'm still here. I've just been busy, and I appreciate the crowd showing up tonight. It's been a very fun stream for me to come back and report and just show you what's going on in the Karen Reed case. And you know that I always cover other cases as well, but this is probably going to be the most important one that we cover here for the next couple of weeks through this trial and see the completion. And thank you. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you for all the new subscribers, all the new members, the super chats, the cash apps that came through, the buy me a coffees. I do appreciate it. And I promise I will be back soon with another live. If not, I will be out there live at the courthouse, boots on the ground reporting, or just catching some video down there in front of the courthouse as well. So thank you all. Have a good night. Get some rest. I will be back soon, and I will continue to cover the Karen Reed case. Talk to you all soon. Love you all. Thank you for keeping LTL alive. Talk to you all soon. Have a good night. Peace.
Take the change and set the track, run over me, it's time to